Welcome to theUpStreamLife.com. I'm your founder and editor, Vishal Krishna. I'd love talking to startups, especially startups in wellness, especially startups who are trying to make India live longer, better. I've got the co-founder of Awshad with me, Richa Jaggi. Richa, how are you?
Hi, Vishal. Thank you so much. Very excited. It's cold here in Delhi, so a bit chilly, but other than that, very excited to be on the podcast.
It's exciting for me because cannabis is such a cuss word in society. But if you look at the Ayurvedic texts, right, they are used medicinally, right? I want us to start. What is the origin of Awshad and why get into cannabis? I know a lot of states, UP, Madhya Pradesh, they've all allowed processing of cannabis and use it for medicinal purposes. But I want to hear what is Awshad and what is it going to do and all the possibilities with cannabis. Go on.
Great. So, actually, I love the fact that you started with the cultural relevance of it, because that's something that, we must, as all Indians, should be very proud of. It's such a revered plant, and of course, to our gods like Lord Shiva, we actually even kind of offer it to him, right? So it is surprising to me that, from culturally having so much significance, it's actually reached a point where there's so much stigma attached to it, and of course, we can get into the history of it, but let's focus on the present, which is, what we're doing now about it, which is that it's such a miraculous plant with so many healing therapeutic properties. And of course, at Awshad, me and Shivam saw this opportunity that this is a product that definitely needs to be brought to the forefront, especially to Indians, because Ayurvedically, it's already been legal. It's always been legal, which a lot of people don't, are aware of. And it's called Vijaya in Ayurveda. And Vijaya has always been, legal, and that's the license we work on, which is the Ayush license. But the inception of Awshad is actually not so much from the cultural context, but more from an emotional, personal context. Because back in 2019, I'm a very big animal lover, and I had a pet named Champ. And at the age of 12, he was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of perianal cancer. And, we already had a surgery for him, but it kind of reoccurred. And at that time, the vet said, of course, he's too old and now fragile. So, to go through anything like chemo radiation would not be a possibility. So it was pretty much, just a waiting game. And I wanted to make his last days as comfortable as possible. And he said that, he's heard good stuff about CBD. And that was it for me. And I just went helter-skelter. There was nothing, absolutely zero information in India about CBD, no quality, no clinical test, standardization, nothing. I had no idea. Some lady was selling it in Sankunj in Delhi, and like I had no idea how to procure it, what to do it. Is it even pure, or is it even good to administer to my, very, very sick dog? So thankfully, a friend of mine at that time was traveling to Amsterdam. And as we know, that is like the capital for, all cannabis enthusiasts and the market. And he, got me a pet CBD product. Which immediately I started administering to Champ, and I just saw a very small ray of hope, and I kind of like just caught it, because I saw that he was, he was crying and whimpering all night, and he had, I saw that a little relief in his pain, and then I saw that he had stopped eating, so he was consuming food again. So for me, that was, like a very, very big ray of hope and light. And unfortunately, he passed away on 3rd of November 2019. But that was it. It was like a purpose that I knew I wanted to do something about it in this field, but I had no idea how, when, what. And, the stars aligned. And in pandemic 2021, I was already working in corporate. As, you're aware, we kind of briefly touched upon my background. And that's when, me and Shivam have been friends for many years. And he was moving to America, but because pandemic, he was stuck in India. And I was done with my corporate, stint. Not even stint, it was like over a decade. And, we just kind of combined our resources together and we started up Awshad. Yeah.
Okay. For those of us who don't know CBD, it's cannabidiol, right? It's cannabidiol, correct?
Yeah.
What are its properties? Obviously, a lot of people can come to your blog and check it out, right? It has 100 compounds, active compounds, and they're extremely effective, which is what you've written in your blog as well, right? Did you love your dog so much that you thought this would work on him? It would work on pets too?
So, of course, the reason why I started Awshad is because I saw the impact it did for Champ. And actually, contrary to popular belief, because the inception of Awshad started because of obviously my pet, people think that it's actually primarily a pet product company. It's not, we just have 2 products for pets. Rest 9 to 10 are all human. And we started off with the human, CBD oils, which are tinctures, and then capsules. And now we've expanded into muscle recovery gel, balms, roll-ons, etc. And, we'll be launching even more stuff. But yeah, coming to, the potency of the extract in itself, Vishal, it is so miraculous. And people will not agree when I say that when it starts from all the way from anxiety, insomnia, arthritis, depression, inflammation, gut health, IBS, cancer, epilepsy, Parkinson's, you name any of these diseases which are related, to your nervous system or neuro, etc., all can be managed with Awshad. And this is plant-based, absolutely vegan, and so much better than, using other hard synthetic prescription-based medicines, which are addictive in nature. And also another, contrary to popular belief, people think cannabis is addictive. It's not.
This is so wonderfully said. I have a couple of more points. You used the word Vijaya. Okay. And I heard about Vijaya from an American who was using Vijaya in America. And he's working on some formulations to bring to India. Okay. That's the interest about Vijaya at this point of time. I don't want to talk about experience of Vijaya, but they say when consumed a lot, it is really, really it goes into the territory of,
Euphoria.
something else, euphoria, right? Like the Shiva dance, okay? It is the literal Shiva dance, right? But what is Vijaya? For the benefit of the audience, Vijaya, when used wisely or used in, used as compounds and would you call yourself nutraceuticals as a company, or would you say these are people get confused in pills, nutraceutical medicine? So where do you stand and where does Vijaya fit in? What's that history with Vijaya? What is it exactly?
Firstly, that's such an interesting and great question, because this is it's so much of an overlap which we think in our head, but it really is not. So nutraceutical, of course, comes from a nutrition point of view, right, which is a supplement, which you can think of as hemp, because hemp provides nutrition and protein. This comes from the hemp plant, but CBD, THC, all of this, the part which makes you high, etc., these extracts, these are completely purely used for medicinal purposes. So we call ourselves a medical cannabis company, and it is rightly, right in between where nutraceutical, which is for nutrition and supplementing, for your health, and, very, very synthetic hard medicines, which are just for quick, recovery or alleviation of your issues, but not really from a management curative point of view. This is right in the middle where, it is that plant-based medicine, which I would kind of try to call it like, like the most, I think, 10x version of turmeric, perhaps, if I were to just, give you a little bit of an understanding, because as Indians, we understand culturally certain plants and herbs have a lot of medicinal benefits also. Since we've been, we were infants, our mothers have been doing, medicinal, plant-based medicinal, shortcuts when, before giving us pills. And a lot of Indians, especially like my generation, we have opened up to the idea of holistic medicine, because we are very averse to pills, because we've seen our parents just pop pills for anything and everything, right? And our grandparents. It's holistic. It has got a lot of potency and it's medicinal, but without being, extremely aggressive on other organs and parts of the bodies, where it's not damaging you in any way, but in fact, helping you with the management.
I'm glad you mentioned that we all are used to traditional medicine, because I remember when I was in my kindergarten, when I got chicken pox, I did not take, what do you call allopathy or any kind of medicine from allopathy. My mother applied neem paste.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was an integrated medicine approach by a mother, where she used traditional medicine, and there was some obviously allopathy intervention, I'm sure. But then I realized that the neem actually cleared up the skin, the irritation very fast. Yeah. That's although I wouldn't know it at the time that it was integrated medicine or whatever. Maybe the term itself wasn't coined. It was in the 80s, right? Exactly. But you're right. We are also rooted in tradition, but it's only after the 90s, the consumption era, that we have, although there is this fringe element of Ayurveda happening, and obviously the Ministry of Ayush in India is now important for us to have. I think we should have it. There is a lot of, let's say, attack on the system, right? Saying this is not real, right? This is not beneficial. How do you answer such criticism because I'm speaking from experience as a child that it did help, right? And
Of course.
Indian plants do have medicinal properties, and how do you handle that kind of a level where, because you are in the end a marketing person who has to market this product, how do you tell you see, people today in India are, let's say, they're flirting around brands. They
Right.
go from, let's say, some bioalgae one day to Ayurveda one day, right? How do you handle such a situation and then say that, look, this is research led, this is very real. Awshad has tested this, and therefore we are a neo-Vedic wellness brand, as you call it, right? Explain that to me, please.
So I love the fact that you said the word integrated medicine, because that's exactly where Awshad is standing right now. It's not going to cure any disease per se, which is of extremely severe level. Of course, you will need that kind of approach. For instance, we have people have this misunderstanding that automatically cannabis is going to cure cancer. It doesn't. Of course, now we have genetically modified cannabis happening, which is taking place in America, which is and there is research and clinical trials going on the curative benefits of that. So yes, that part is there, but it's yet to come. The cannabis oil that we are talking about right now, instead of taking like people are taking heavy dosage, opioid based dosage for like pain and anxiety and depression, and even for neuro related illnesses, and those are very addictive, and they can cause a crash which is going to cost your body a lot more than the medicine in itself, right? So what it's of course it's research led and backed, because we have enough scientific data available online on researches that have happened. We obviously are trying to come up together as an industry with other cannabis companies as well to start having our own clinical research. But at Awshad, what we've done is that all of our products get completely, the lab testing is done in America. Everything is completely transparent for the customers. The product quality is of the highest order, and we ensure of that. But coming from, people questioning, does this even work? Quite honestly and interestingly, that's not really the case. There are people who have been complete believers of allopathy coming to us because they have seen the difference that alternative holistic medicine can do from an integrative point of view, right? So if you've gotten, for example, a lot of people when they had COVID, of course they were taking their medicines and all, but what was that one term which was trending the most, at least in North India? Kara. People having kara, they were boiling all these herbs together and having it, and of course it had a lot of benefits to it. And I'm not saying that Vijaya is
that was the India movement. I think we all had those in our traditional mixes all across. Every state had its mix, and you were right.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
in the south they called it kashayam, right? In Tamil Nadu they'd call it kashayam. In Karnataka they would call it kashaya, right?
Exactly.
They'd have all these mixes going around saying this
It's
is
so
good for
good for
corona.
immunity. Even Vijaya is, for instance, because I was the only one in my family, touch wood. We all got it, and I didn't. And then I was the last one during Omicron. Then I finally got it for some reason. But it really helps in immunity. Prior to me starting Awshad all these years, I was surviving on Samahan, which I'm sure you're aware of, because that's like everyone's nutraceutical supplement in Souths, because and that helps with immunity. So can we contest that? We can't, because it's actual pure factual first person primary data that it helps in your immunity. And the body, how much can you survive on synthetic medication? You can't. And you can't compete on the fact that over a time synthetic medication is going to have certain implications on your own body, and apart from addiction also, it's not going to be very beneficial, so
I
it's
can
better
I
to
can
move
second that.
on.
I've seen people get addicted to pain medicine from the allopathy side and die of
Absolutely.
depression later. People have been treated for depression and they've died very quickly also, right? It's very strange. So when people criticize Ayurveda, they also better back it up, right?
Exactly.
And I also like that you as a founder have done, I think, I mean your dog's name, what's your dog's name again?
Champ.
Champ,
Champ.
right? See, you were in love with him so much that you went all the way to save his life and make his final days better. And I'm sure when you started this company, you care. There is something that you want to do to society also. It's not just a business. And I'm glad you said that you go get this tested in the US. What do you get this tested for? I'm curious, because when people listen to this, they want to know, okay, it is not addictive, you said. It is good as a integrated type of medicine where it allows the body to recover rather than cure, because it doesn't go cure cancer or something of that sort, but it is important to keep your body healthy. It does help you keep your body healthy. So how do you make sure that when you went for these tests in the US, what were some of the questions you had in mind? What did the scientists or the food scientists, did you have all these, obviously it must be FDA approved if you got it tested there. Is it also have to be tested by the food grade scientists also?
No, so there's something known as COA, which is known as Certificate of Analysis, which is a mandate in America for all the CBD companies, but we've tried to replicate that for India as well. So of course, we have third-party testing in India also available, and they are very good labs. But we prefer one of the best labs, which is based out of Florida. We send our extract, our batch, there to get tested, to get a full lab report, which is a detailed lab report for any of the customers, patients who are, or doctors who want to see the exact ingredients, exact breakup of each of the active extracts within inside it. And coming to the second question where you said that it's more of a management integrative approach and not curative. Coming to cancer, we have a cancer specialist doctor with us, one of the most, he's very, very reputed in the industry, Dr. Saeed, and he's worked with many severe cancer patients, and he's put them off nausea and other pain medicines and put them on Awshad, CBD medicines, where the patient, apart from their, whatever they're doing, chemotherapy or radiation, this is helping in their recovery a lot sooner, a lot better, without them depending on other hard medication, which is what the integrative approach has been, that it's, you bounce back a lot quicker and better. And in cases like fibromyalgia, which is a very, very severe condition of nerves for a lot of ladies, we've had a patient who's almost 80 to 85%, better with her pain the minute she started having Kamasul, which is one of our capsule products. So it's helped, but I'm not making any claims of cure because every body is very different, but we've had those instances as well. But this as a keep your body healthy and to manage lifestyle related ailments and even some severe ailments is excellent. And I would really, want people to open up their eyes to more such alternatives versus just going directly the allopathic way first.
You have 6 product categories, right? And how does Awshad work? One is I can shop for these categories, right? It has topicals, it has, oral tinctures, right? Capsules, of course, and obviously many SKUs in those, basis, gut, mental health, insomnia and all that.
Mm-hmm.
How would you actually say that this is marketed? Is it marketed with a set of doctors? Do you have a retail strategy in play? How does that work?
So we are completely D2C, and primarily we sell out of our website, but we do have other online aggregators, which are other online, CBD websites. We can't sell on Amazon because it's a prescription-based product. But however, we are hoping, with more liberal policies coming in, hopefully for Ayurveda, we would, eventually get into that paradigm as well. So primarily we have doctors. So how it makes it easy for any customer, what was the biggest gap that I saw was that because it's a prescription-based product, they would explore and then, they would see that, oh, now I'll require a prescription, because we did a thorough research of other competition in the market. So we kind of solved for that. And what I decided was that we're going to have all the doctors all placed on the website, and automatically on purchase of product, they get a free consultation, which removes the whole problem of, prescription. And they're getting a custom one-on-one expert advice and approach on the exact dosage they require based on their ailment, their weight, their medical history, which is something customers really appreciate. And the minute the consultation is done, the product is dispatched, and delivery is also free pan-India. And apart from that, now we've kind of expanded to pharmacies. So we're on, 1mg, we're on GeoMart as well. And also physical pharmacies. We are here in a couple of, areas in Delhi. And we're expanding more. We're in Bombay as well now. So that is our approach. In retail, we are slowly expanding our footprint, but we are primarily online. And 80%, I would say, we sell via our own website.
Okay. When do I need, you said it's a prescription product. When do I need a prescription? Because I can go online and buy it. When do I need prescription?
Product which is edible. So topicals like balms, roll-ons and gels, you do not need a prescription. But for anything which is edible, which is the oral tinctures and the capsules, you would require a prescription. But it's a one-time effort because then now we have your record and your prescription with us. So now you can reorder without any issue.
So if I have to take a capsule from you, I need to consult a doctor, get the prescription and then buy?
if you're buying from Awshad, you don't need to go anywhere else. You just add the product to cart and we can help you with a prescription. It'll ask you, do you have a prescription already? If you do, great. Most people don't, and we can just help you book an appointment, and it's free. And you choose your preferred time slot with our 10 doctors, because we have 10 of them. And then you can just kind of, fill in your information, and the doctor gives you a call and the product is dispatched.
Okay. You know about, there's something called calm shrooms in your capsule list, right? Right?
Yeah.
Did you know these shrooms are being used by MMA fighters? Did you know that? I don't know for what energy. Do you want to explain why?
So this is our latest launch for 2023. It's Kama Shroom, and it has Cordyceps. Now, Cordyceps, in the olden days, now it's become very, very famous because of the Chinese Olympic players were actually using this, because obviously steroids is not allowed. And this helped in kind of upping their performance and vitality to an exponential level. And, we saw a kind of a gap in the market where we thought that, of course, CBD is giving, the calmness and the restorative, all of that kind of benefits. But a lot of people, through the day, when they want to kind of work, that calmness actually helps, but they needed something to give them sort of vitality also throughout the day, a little bit of energy. So we kind of launched and came up with Kama Shroom for that. And, we have certain customers who swear by it, like who are complete, they start in the day. A lot, of course, is very different. People take it in the night, depends on their schedule also and what the doctor recommends. But we have certain customers who start their day with having a Kama Shroom, and, they literally notice high amount of, workload, which they can kind of solve through the day.
Is there a lot of energy with these Kama Shrooms?
It depends, again, body to body. So like for someone like me who is too much it's because it's a strong potency product, it could make me feel not so much energy for me. But for instance, my co-founder and my dad, they feel like a zest of energy. It really does depend body to body. But I do feel that when I have Kama Shroom, I can focus a lot better. I work a lot better, and my mind is a lot more calmer and relaxed, because I'm very, very hyper in my thought process. I'm overthinking always. I'm always thinking about the next step. So this just gives me that Zen zone, that Zen mode to just focus. But it's not an Adderall for sure, but it does give me that little calm focus where I can just, kind of go through my day. But for other customers, they get this jolt of energy where they can finish 20 tasks. So body to body is very different.
Talk about the different conditions, health, gut health, mental health. Are products available for all this?
Absolutely. So we've not bifurcated our product by illnesses, but we've bifurcated the product by potency, because it's backed by an expert doctor who is going to advise you which potency is, suited for you and exact dosage. Because the extract in itself, Vishal, is all encompassing, right? Like it helps you with across all of these ailments. So for me to say that this is for migraine and this is for arthritis and this is it's not going to be the case, because it helps across. So there are certain companies who divide it for ailments, and that's completely their call. The extract in itself can help across all. It just depends on the frequency you're consuming it and the dosage and the potency you're taking it at. So we've divided it that. So at a very umbrella level, I can tell you that we have a mild, and we have a medium, and we have strong. And people with very severe illnesses, very, very amount of, high amount of severe pain, they're taking the more stronger products. People, who are on, for instance, sedatives, and they have insomnia, and on very strong sedatives, if they start with a mild cannabis oil, it's not going to do anything for them. The point is that, we get them off those strong sedatives. So we start them on a strong, potent cannabis oil, where they have high amounts of, their dosage is a lot, and slowly be curtailed down. And then they completely get off their sedative medicine, and they're completely on this. And we've seen over a span of 1 to 2 months, their circadian rhythm is pretty much on track now. And, they're sleeping a lot better, and you're not dependent on the oil. So eventually you will see that it's not like you need to have it for sleep every night, because I took it for insomnia for about 6 to 7 months. And in between, I stopped it for a couple of months, and it's still fine. And then I started again.
This is interesting. I really want to discuss. So there's so much in depth when you go into, into the nitty-gritties of this medicine itself, right? For example, sleep is one thing. I mean, everyone's sleep deprived in India these days because of the work
We are
schedules.
having a sleep crisis. Yeah.
The circadian rhythms that you talked about, the circadian rhythms are so important. I think a lot of them, it's not about sleeping 6 hours or 7 hours. Apparently, it is sleeping at 10, maybe at getting up at 5 or something. I don't know whether research has, obviously, a lot of people claim the benefits of waking early. Today, a lot of
Right.
people have, it's just that, yes, you're right. The circadian rhythms have gone for a toss, I might say. And based on that, I think a lot of people's lifestyles are affected by sleep, right? Because of the lack of sleep, they're not performing as much. They may be efficient at work, but their energy levels just drop, right? Then they have to have another coffee or another stimulant. Would you say you're not a stimulant by any means, right? You're the fix. You're not a stimulant, correct?
With a stimulant, no. There is no stimulant. In fact, but when it comes to circadian rhythm, what I was trying to say is that the human body in it has its own rhythm. Each is, it's different. But obviously, the main point is that when you sleep at night, the quality of your sleep is more important than the quantity of your sleep.
Yeah. So
And
it's not
people
6
think,
hours,
oh,
7 hours.
yeah, I slept for 8 hours, great. No, in fact, in that 8 hours, if your sleep broke every 2 hours, that's actually very bad sleep. And that is what was happening to me. I would get in bed early, I would feel sleepy also. But I would have like a horrible sleep schedule where every 1-2 hours my sleep would break. Like if you see on my phone, obviously there's a health app on iPhone where my sleep would show 1 hour 37 minutes on an average, which is horrible, right? Because it would break every 1 to 2 hours. So what CBD does, it does not elongate your sleep. What it does is the amount your body is naturally predisposed to sleep, it helps you get deep, restful sleep, which kind of you feel rejuvenated when you get up. Because if you have, for instance, melatonin or any other sedative, you wake up feeling slightly groggy. Most people did. I did. And this actually helps us, when you would have it, you would wake up feeling fresh, more energetic, definitely not groggy, and kind of you can take on the day. So you need that spike of caffeine is actually not that required then. So
I
if you
got it.
see, if you sleep, you anyways have fixed the reason to, kind of get your daily spike of energy, because that crash will be a lot lesser.
Richa, we quickly spoke about the benefits of for athletes, for people who sleep, insomnia, right, and people who want to live better and obviously improve their lifestyles. So this is here to stay. The Ministry of Ayush, what do the regulators say? I mean, I quickly want to know that. You're self-funded at this point of time. That's another thing. So because the business of e-commerce is also tied into funding, or do you want to stay self-funded? That's one. And at some point of time, do you want to be integrated as a company from manufacturing to retail? Do you want to do that? Or is it too early? Are you saying there are enough people on the pharma side, we can work with those factories and just focus on brand building? Your thoughts quickly.
So to start with first, yes, we are bootstrapped. We very intentionally wanted to be bootstrapped, for as long as we could, so that we could build as much value and also have a little more agency in how to, run things. Because of course, once institutional investors get in, there's a lot more that they bring to the table, which is of course, a great insight and their own visions. But we wanted to kind of create a little more value and, build the ecosystem in our own way. So most likely by next year, we will start, opening up and seeing the market and exploring, for investments. But I mean, nothing really set in stone yet, but now we're very open for it. Coming to the the retail part of it, yes, we definitely are going to be expanding a lot more, offline. And that's already begun. And, we've going to become a little more aggressive next year for sure. And coming to the regulation point of view, we have our own association, the Cannabis Industry Association. And there are many which have propped up, but we ourselves are associated with them. And, we're hoping that, with the industry association at large, there, of course, apart from the lobbying that happens, we are hoping to kind of get people to, especially at a very government level, to open up a lot more and understand a lot more about this product category and, get a lot more, relaxation in terms of rules and regulations, including even marketing. So for instance, right now, the word cannabis is banned to market and I can't, right? So we have to use different intelligent ways to, kind of bring out our messaging in the front. But yeah, we're hoping for a better and brighter future for the cannabis industry. But I can tell you this, in writing, that it's not going anywhere, and it's just going to get bigger and better.
It's going to be interesting, right? We are using the word cannabis, and unfortunately, I don't know what YouTube rules are when we talk cannabis. We are talking about medicine here, and I hope they understand, and I hope they don't block my video or anything of that sort. But it is true. Because it's been such a wonderful interview, and but I promise you, if that happens, I'm going to have it back in my studio and record it, and still publish it anyway.
Absolutely.
I want to know two more things, right? Do you have plans to be a manufacturer at all?
To be very honest with you, we did think about that, in between. But for the time being, no, because we want to be completely product centric in terms of first, reach all the consumers possible. And only when we're super confident on the quality of product. So out of me and Shivan, I'm very, very anal about, quality, and so is he. And, until we don't reach that level where we can outperform all of the manufacturers in terms of quality, and that of course requires a lot of capital, so that's a long term plan. We're not going to get into it until then, because I really want the quality to not suffer just on the guise of making more perhaps margin. That's not what we are here for.
Okay.
As I told you, it's a purpose organization.
Okay, extraction units are in UP and Madhya Pradesh. I heard even Bihar, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you want to work with these extraction units, or do you want to own some of the value chain?
I mean, we would love to own the value chain long term for sure, and that's something we're very open to. But currently, we're working with few manufacturers very closely for a couple of years now, and we have our own formulations with them, and it's been completely kind of a cakewalk with them so far, because now we get each other very well. So that kind of marriage has worked out for us in a good way, and we're hoping to see where that takes us. But yeah, we're very open to seeing how this kind of pans out if we ever want to get into it.
Okay. What's your website? Just spell it out so that people go check it out.
So the website is awshad.com, awshad.com.
That's great. And how does Richa unwind? Don't say with a dose of Vijaya. That means something else. So how does Richa Jaggi unwind at the office and at home?
So I'm this very big chai connoisseur, I would like to call it, because I have this chai fixation every day. Like, I need to have my kadak chai, and I've spent like 7 years in Bombay. I'm a Delhi girl, but I spent 7 years in Bombay, so I have my cutting chai there. So I don't know how much that is of relaxation anymore, but I do that, and it's not nice. I want to stop that. But apart from that, I watch a lot of stuff. I watch a lot of hear a lot of podcasts, which is good for me, and the business. I do a lot of research online, and from a relaxation point of view, I go for long walks. I'm a big nature person.
It's cutting chai, it's walks, it's watching podcasts, and pardon, sorry,
and doom scrolling on social media.
That's something that's a nightmare. I agree with you. Doom scrolling is terrible, man. Everybody's addicted to it. You can't do anything. I mean, I went to a hospital the other day. Obviously, I was in the hospital with my mother in the morning, and I could see people doom scrolling while waiting for the doctor, or and it's strange. It's another cultural phenomenon. We'll have to chat about it some other time.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll chat about. See, by the way, guys, we've done this on the internet, but my offer to Richa is to do this in my studio too. So there's going to be one more interview with her where we're going to go in depth about this industry. This is just to get to know her. So thank you so much, Richa, and all the best to Awshad, all the best to Shivam, and for all of you Vijaya fans all over the world, do come talk to the Ministry of Ayush. Make it real, right? It's not addictive, guys. It's medicine. It's Indian medicine. It's age-old history. Perhaps write a book, Richa, at some point of time after the success, or maybe not. Maybe you may become an author as well, champion and all that.
For sure.
So all the love to the dear departed soul, your dog, of course. That's why you started this because of Champ, and I hope you win in this industry and you become a champion yourself. We'll have you soon in Bangalore. Thank you so much, Richa. Have a good one.
Thank you
see you in a bit. Bye.
Thank you.